Life is all about the gray area undefined. Life is filled with parallels. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can choose to live your life out loud, or you can choose the in between or the middle of the road. Inside the gray area, that's where life happens. Welcome to Inside the Gray Area, sponsored by McGregor. I'm Leanne O'Brien, representing McGregor. I'm here with Elizabeth England from the CAS Company. The CAS Company is a group of insurance agents that help individuals select their choices for various Medicare plans. We work with Liz and the CAS Company frequently to invite individuals into our community ballroom to be educated on a variety of topics from A to Z. And of course, the topic of what to do when you turn 65 is coming up this fall. It's the enrollment period comes up in the fall every year, and it weighs heavily on individuals' minds because once you start to get into the mix, you really realize, I guess, maybe how much you don't know, right?
Absolutely.
And you're here to provide that information for those individuals who, may be still working in a job. And of course, that decision involves, do they stay with their current health insurance or do they enroll in Medicare? Or for those who may have already retired, what does the future hold for them? So let's start with that question. I was asked one day by an individual, when I turn 65, do I automatically get a Medicare card?
Good question. And Leanne, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of the podcast. Yeah, I get a lot of questions regarding Medicare. When can I enroll? What if I work past 65? How can I get more information? So, to answer the question from the one individual that posed it to you, you will not automatically get a card from Medicare.
Right.
Okay. So you will need to enroll. You will need to go to your local Social Security office and apply for Medicare Part A, Part B, which is known as Original Medicare. You get 3 months before your birthday, and then you get 3 months after your birthday to get enrolled so that you will not be assessed a penalty. So your effective date basically will be the first of the month that you turn 65.
Okay.
So you back up, 3 months there that way and 3 months that way, and then that's when you're able to enroll and avoid a penalty. Um, if you're working past 65, we recommend that you go ahead and sign up for Part A. And let me just step back here. So, Original Medicare, Part A is for your hospitalization and any claims that you incur if you go to the hospital. There's no monthly premium for Part A. And so we recommend that you go ahead and sign up for Part A when you turn 65. Okay. Part B is for doctor visit and outpatient services. Now, you don't want to sign up for Part B if you have group coverage, because then you'll have two plans. You're paying two premiums and blah blah blah. So,
So you're saying whether you're working or not, it's always wise to sign up for Part A.
Part A,
Okay.
yes, for your birthday month. Part B, that's when you make the decision if you're working or not working, whether or not you want to do the Part B.
Now, what if you don't sign up for Medicare at 65 or 67 because you're still working or beyond? Is there any penalty if you don't do that?
To answer your question, there is not a penalty as long as the group plan that you have, your employer plan, is creditable coverage.
Okay.
Okay. And all that means is that your group plan is as good as or better than Medicare. And companies are supposed to send out letters to Medicare eligible employees to let them know that their plan is creditable. So they don't have to worry about anything as long as their plan is creditable. And then once they retire, or if they just decide to drop the group plan, then they won't have a penalty because their plan was because they had creditable coverage.
Okay. All right. So we know that there's, a few things to check off our list, so to speak, when,
Mhm.
planning for Medicare, maybe some helpful tips. So I'm just going to comment on them and ask you to kind
Okay.
of give your
Mhm.
input. But obviously, as you're saying, review your current health plan.
Absolutely. Make a decision if you want to stay on your group plan or if you want to enroll in Medicare.
Okay. And then know the Medicare star ratings. And of course, all of us in the residential care industry know what that means, but let's tell our listeners.
Yes. So the star ratings, CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, they rate the various health plans. So I represent 10 different insurance carriers, right? Every year, the CMS rate them on customer service, claims processing, a variety of things, and then they are assigned a star rating from 1 to 5, 5 being the best. And
Sure.
we do have some 5-star plans here in Northeast Ohio. And so obviously they're all looking to be a 5-star plan.
And obviously, when someone comes to you, it's
Hmm.
beneficial if they've looked into the variety of Medicare healthcare insurance plans so that they have some knowledge, because you say you represent 10.
Right.
So I certainly don't want to just come to you and say, I have no idea, we're starting with 10. I'm sure
Eh,
it's helpful if we narrow it down to 3 to 5 at least to start. But,
um,
what would your thoughts be on
okay.
that
Okay. Okay. So you don't have to try to figure this out
on
on
your
your
own?
own.
Right.
There's
Why,
a
that's why we have you.
That's why you have me. All right. You don't have to try to figure this out. So, just a few things. Once you are 6 months before you turn 65, you're going to start getting a bunch of information from the insurance carriers because they want you to enroll in their plan.
Mhm.
So when I do my presentations, I tell the audience, I said, everybody knows you're turning 65. It's no
Okay.
secret. Everybody.
Okay.
So they're mailing out all kinds of stuff to you. So that would be your opportunity right there to take a look. I recommend that you take a look at what they send you, review it, kind of, get familiar with it. And then you can either put it in a folder or you can throw it away. And then you need to call me or an agent 3 to 6 months before your birthday. And then we'll go over those things because what an independent agent like myself, what we do is we help you navigate through the Medicare maze. And it's very confusing. And unfortunately, we don't talk about Medicare until we're 3 months before it's
Till the
time to
time.
sign up. And
Right.
then you're frantic. Oh my God, what do I do? And so I tell my clients, just calm down. It's a process. Medicare is a federal insurance program. We will get through this. So I walk them through step by step. I don't want them to get overwhelmed because they'll shut down.
Right.
And then I just like to calm them down and say, I'm here. I'm a resource for you. The first thing they will need to do is contact their local Social Security office and sign up for Original Medicare Part A and Part B. If they're already collecting their Social Security benefits, Medicare will automatically enroll them into Original Medicare. Okay, so I get some calls from people, they say, I got this card, I don't know why. And I said, well, are you collecting your Social Security benefits? They go, yeah, okay, good. That is the only time you will get a card in advance of you actually applying.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, just from our experience in hosting some of your programs
Mm-hmm.
here, you're in the community a lot.
Oh
You
my God,
do
yes.
numerous presentations. So if somebody feels as though it didn't sink in once, or they missed one of your presentations, there's plenty of others throughout Northeast Ohio that they can join in on.
Absolutely. They are called Medicare 101 presentations. Okay, so they're educational, and there are certain rules and regulations regarding an educational seminar versus a sales event. So they want to be careful. If
Mhm.
they're going to a sales event, you're going to get more plan information. You're going to have an agent trying to sell you a plan versus an educational. All the ones that I do are educational presentations so that my background is benefits administration. I'm used to doing employee benefit presentations, and so I love doing Medicare presentations for Medicare beneficiaries because for some reason we don't talk about Medicare till we turn 65 or
Yeah, it's
almost
just,
65. It's
yep,
like, duh, why don't we talk about it? So,
it's all
yeah,
a part of this pre-planning, this
absolutely.
conversation that we keep having throughout our industries. Yeah.
Exactly. And I work with a lot of financial advisors.
Hmm.
So they have clients that they're helping get ready for retirement. And if they have financial advisors do not do Medicare, and they are perfectly happy staying in their lane. And they say, I don't do Medicare. Let me connect you with somebody that does. And then I step in and help that individual navigate through the Medicare base.
Sure.
Hmm.
And we never want to make any assumptions. So I guess another thing would be
Hmm.
make sure that your physician covers Medicare.
Absolutely. 99.9% of doctors cover Medicare, except Medicare. But so part of the process, so once you get your Part A and your Part B, and we're looking at a plan that's right for you, then I will need a list of your medications because I need to make sure they're on the drug plan, and
Hmm.
then I will need a list of your doctors so I can make sure they're in the network. So that's a very, very important step. And I don't look to change doctors, change medications. I want the transition to be seamless because you know how hard it is to get a new doctor. You know how hard it is to get your medication changed. Doctors are in multiple networks. It's generally not an issue.
Hmm.
And as far as prescription drugs are concerned, each Medicare Part D plan, they have to have at least two medications in each therapeutic class. So, you know, everybody got generics for sure. But when you're looking at your tier three name brand medications, um, Januvia and Jardiance is a perfect example. That's for diabetes. One plan might cover Jardiance and the other covers Januvia. It's still a tier three medication for type two diabetes. So if you know that's an easy switch. Not too
I
concerned
see.
about that.
Yeah.
But if it's anything else than that, then we have to make sure that it is covered under the plan before we enroll in a plan.
Thank you for joining Inside the Gray Area. We're here to answer all your questions and share some interesting insights. I'm Leanne O'Brien. We look forward to seeing you next time, and be sure to follow us on social media and our YouTube channel.